With a quick review for this book, Die with Zero. An interesting book, definitely thought provoking. I'll give this book high 3, maybe even a 4. The only reason it's not a 4 exactly is because it wasn't very. It's hard to die with zero. He said, it's obviously hard, but it has a good argument of why we should strive to not die with money, but it's harder to implement than meets the eye. And let's just say that. It has some good advice on how to get there, but not very useful advice, if that makes sense. So, definitely, what I liked about the book is that to try to use the money instead of saving it or to a rainy day or things like that, just to use it. Or what you even got more out of this book is use it while you can, because saving for retirement and then do all whatever you want to do is not a feasible option. The older you get, the less you want to do things, the less you can do things due to health reasons and other reasons. So do them when you can, basically. Let's see the notes. Some people live as if the game is to accumulate as much as possible and to forget about that you want to use it, essentially. Saving money when we don't make much doesn't make much sense. The older we get, the more money we'll make, so saving when we don't make much money is just not good for us. We need to bridge between the ant to the grasshopper. So one of them is saving, the other one is just splurging. So we need to bridge between them, find the equilibrium or the Goldilocks zone. Memories pay dividends. That's why we need to make more experiences with our money versus buying things. This is not to say to not leave money for kids. Rather, if you decide to do so, do it early. So the book doesn't say die with zero and leave nothing for your kids. But if you plan to give money to your kids, do it early. If you plan to give money to charity, give it early. No reason to wait until you're old or close to die. That also doesn't mean living with poverty, rather making rational decisions. That doesn't mean we should spend all of our money and then live in poverty closer to the end. We have to be more rational about it. Saving money for unforeseen medical expenses doesn't make much sense, since if you're not covered, you're fucked anyway. That's the main reason why people want to save money is for medical expenses. And the thing is that whatever money you can save, usually will not suffice. It's not gonna be enough. So you're gonna be fucked anyway, so might as well use it for better things. Saving for unforeseen events is like worrying about an alien attack. I fully agree with this analogy here. But if we want to save it, there is more and less probable events, but overall, if some events, if we want to plan for that, we might as well plan for an alien attack. Annuities can help us if we end up dying later. So that's what another reason people try to save money is when something bad happened, or not bad happened, but if they end up living later than they saved for. So for that, there's annuities you can contribute. It's kind of like an insurance policy if you end up dying later. They pay you kind of a wage, almost like a social security. Interesting idea. That's a very useful advice I got out of the book. Next one is giving money for kids should be done earlier rather than later. So again, we said it before, but that's a good point, especially since we have the next one here of average age of receiving inheritance is 60. That's why you give it early. You don't need it when you're 60. You already have money, and you can't do much with it. You're already getting older. Spend your money on experiences rather than things, because you remember them more. They pay dividends. And the last one, when money is not a problem, health is. That's why we need to do it earlier. Usually, when you're young, money's the problem, not time. When you're older, money's not the problem. Usually health is. So it could be time. That's it for the notes. Again, interesting book, definitely thought provoking. A little problematic with implementation, but something to think about, especially for those of us who save more than splurge. So this is an argument to splurge a little more, especially when we're young and we can do things. So that's for the notes. Again, a 3 out of 5, maybe a high 3. I don't think it's a 4, but a high 3. Thank you.